Good morning. I am going to be going over how to go through the standard and create a standard, but also to find out if there's a standard already in place. So you can see that I have Maintenance Connection open. We are going to go in to Inventory. You go to Search, and you just click your arrow. It'll pull up all the Maintenance Connection items. If you go to current criteria, you can actually choose, and this one I've chosen for ODC. You hit apply, you can choose your own site. Make sure that the check mark is checked, and then you're going to hit the green arrow again. Now this narrowed this down to ODCs, all parts, and if you go back in, you can actually click active, hit apply again, and this is now just the active parts. And that's really where we're going to concentrate most of our attention, is to the active parts. So I'm going to go ahead and do this 0026. So I'm going to literally copy that number. I'm going to go to another screen. I'm going to go to inventory, and I'm going to make sure this says all up here. Now you're going to click search. I usually go to the global search, and then I just paste in my number and hit enter. This brought up two items. One is for ODC and PDC, and this one is for FDC, and it appears that it is the same item. Just to be safe, I'm going to drop down and check the manufacturing number, and it's still the same two items. If there were another item within this, so if it said TGW, but it said Schneider and it had a different number, I would also research that number to verify that it wasn't already in our system. Since this has two different parts, neither of them have pictures, so I have no way to go by what it looks like, and there's no other manufacturing information. I'm going to check the TGW vendor is. This has no vendors. Now, neither of them have been standardized as far as a standardization using our naming convention. Since this is a tool, there are no tools set up in our naming convention, but the easiest way to remember if you're doing a naming convention is start with what the item actually is and then go through the details of, is it, in this case, it's a toolkit. So we'll put kit, and then tool. Then we're going to do, it's for the buffer, and then oil refill slash, and that would hopefully be able to narrow it down to where we can actually, since FTC has it listed as special, we can list that at the end, special. And then if either of the sites would please get a picture, and if there is any manufacturing information on the tool, we need to get that and actually list it here where it says manufacturing name and manufacturing number. So the rule when it comes to the part ID is it cannot start with zeros, so we automatically have to remove the zeros. It needs to be 4 to 6 digits, and this is now 6 digits. So I'm going to hit save. If that number already exists, it will not let me save it. So then we'll have to adjust it more, but we're going to try it and see. Okay, it's showing saved. And since neither part had an actual part used, I just went ahead with the part that had 2 locations already in it. We're going to go over and we now have to, I'm going to copy and paste this. We're going to go set up the vendors. And it's TGW. And we want to use the TGW systems. So I'm going to first set up the all parts. So I uncheck and then just turn that to 0. And that's for all parts. And then I'm going to make sure cranes and main. I also want to show you, if I say shuttles, like I say, I didn't know where it was, and I went ahead and put it in shuttles, I'll show you what happens. Okay, so you're going to hit apply and close, then it's saved. And I switch back over and I notice that this is PDC cranes and not PDC shuttles. I can actually go in here and adjust this. Crane, well, cranes, and hit save then. And now it's PDC crane. Each of these need to be a priority 1 because it's for each location. Each location has to have a priority 1 in order for it to run on inventory through our reports. The next thing I want to make sure that they actually have locations. I'm going to add in the main part room, item master storeroom. I'm going to uncheck that it's a stocked item because it's not stocked. It's in a fiction location, but it's just to say that it is the standard. And then I'm going to go through this is classification. I'm just going to type in tools since I don't really have a way to narrow it down. So we're going to list it as tools and instruments, and that's our classification. I'm going to go ahead and turn it green, but I really do need this photo to complete the standardization process. Then I'm going to go in, click green, you use the user-defined standard, and then click save, and now we have a green standardized part for this specific part. I'm going to go down to FGC, I'm going to hit alert, and then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit type, I'm sorry, not hit, standardize, standard MC is 260046, and then click save. And that will be alerting FDC that they need to put their part into the now standardized part. So when we go back here and we click over, that part now disappears because it is now over with the 2, which I could show you if I can find it. There's the one. Well, anyway, you should be able to see it. There's the 300. 260046 right there. And it is green. So we're going to go back to the beginning and get another part. We're going to try one more part. Hopefully, you guys will be able to go from here. If you need any further help, you can always reach out. So let's try this timing belt. Okay, we're going to copy and go to our other tab. Paste. It's like good morning. This one actually automatically shows that we have a standard in place, the 173175. So we're going to actually go up here and we're going to put in this standard MC 173175. Now the reason I know it is standard, there is your belt number, 560 8mm 30. So now we're going to go in, we're going to check the alert. At this point, you can always move yours over instead of checking your own location and marking it. This one does have a picture. If we can get a better picture of it, that would be fabulous, but at this point, at least we have a picture. Make sure your item master is marked not stocked. Go through and make sure we have, now see this says OptiBelt where the other one said TGW and the TGW number. This is actually OptiBelt 5608M30 and it's marked for the matrix. Go through, we have BDC, Green Mountain, LVO, and OFC. See an LVO. So I'm going to quickly LVO. Everybody has these on list. So then this is truly a standardized part. This would be a good one for me to show the naming convention. If this works with me here, you would go and you would find belt. There's belt. Now if I scroll down, I'm going to move this over so I can see. Back up. Okay, so it's asking what's the type of this belt, and then it's going to ask flat round, and of course it's timing, so you type timing, and this shows PVC, but it's actually, if you look, this size is actually diagonal, so you kind of have to watch sometimes. You have to kind of go at a diagonal. It's not the end of the world. It's just makes it a little confusing sometimes. So our dimensions are the 560, 8M, 30, and then, sorry, then you're going to do your PVC. And then if you know, which we know is a matrix, you can put it there. Or transport, if you know it's transport, whatever the case is, that's where you would put it. And if there's a special field, you can add it there. Once you hit tab, all of it will appear down here. You just copy your string. Then you can actually go in and highlight the naming and hit paste. Control V if you don't know. And then that way it is actually standardized for our naming matrix, which makes it easier for everybody. If there are any questions, please reach out to Chris or I, and we will work with you on getting you to better understand how to do the standardization process. I think that is it. Oh, that was the other thing I did want to show you. Since this does have a um, another number, I will go down to manufacturing and I'll put in the number. And of course, it brought up our main, which is what we want. I usually try to do several variations of this, only because there are some people who list it differently. So the more ways that you look up the number, the better off you are at trying to find all the parts. In this case, nothing else came up, so we're good. I hope this helps. If you have, like I said, if you have any need of further explanation, please reach out. We will do our best to explain it. Thank you and have